Okay, so John's asked me to update him on Glee. Glee. Alright, where did you last leave off?
I don't remember, honestly.
Did you get to any of season 4?
I don't know.
Were Kurt and Blaine broken up or together?
They broke up.
They broke up because he cheated.
Yes.
Because Kurt was stupid.
And they went to the skating rink, and he was like, "Do you trust me?"
Yeah, so that was Christmassy. Okay, so, I mean, honestly, that's, like, I only watch to perv on Blaine. Like, that's it. That's, and they know, like, they keep showing him from, like, behind. He keeps doing, like, he did an episode where he was doing, like, aerobics and stuff, and so he's wearing, like, a tank top and shorts, and it's all just, like, bent over and stuff. I'm just like, this is why I'm here. This is, honestly, the only reason I'm here. And it's shameless. Like, he ended up being a Cheerio again, and they, like, showed him with, like, the uniform, and they were like, shoes, jeans, ass, face. I'm just like, it's just exploitation, and yep, that's all I want. It's like, I watch Glee with, like, one hand in my pants, and I'm just waiting for it. Here comes the Blade scene, yeah, Glee! But, plot-wise, if there ever is such a thing in the show, at first he was like all sad and depressed and like no one cared. Like he just like walked around as like the world's saddest little cheater there ever was. And everyone was just like, dude, just get over it. And he's like, no, it hurts my one true love, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, you fucked up, but bye. Like they're all such terrible people to each other. And then he just ends up a little bit better because he and Kurt have sex again. And yeah, so that I usually couldn't. I had a running competition between Shu, Finn, and Rachel for which person I hated the most. And the order is: I hate Shu the most, I hate Finn 98% of the time, Rachel oscillates. I may like strongly hate Rachel more than Finn, but sometimes Rachel has good moments. But I always hate Shu because it's all his fault. So Shu,
where is even Shu right now?
He leaves and he comes back. So he leaves the kids to like go to Washington, and he leaves Finn in charge of them because taking a class definitely means you're qualified to teach it, and we're after school club. And so he comes back to get married to Emma, but before they get married, he like leaves Emma with all the planning, and it like super triggers her OCD. And she starts having a panic attack, and Finn kisses her because it calms her down. Whatever. He kisses her. It's Glee. And so they both are just like, ugh. And then she stands Shu up at the altar, which I loved. And Sue was making fun of him. Like, Sue shows up to their wedding in a wedding dress, pretty much just to make fun of him. And then she leaves him at the altar. And Finn tells Shu that he kissed Emma. And so then Finn and Shu had like a feud. And Shu would make Finn like go fetch his coffee and like starch his vest and stuff like that. Like just like stupid shit. Like the childish. Shu was so fucking childish. But they were having like a super feud, and it was like tearing the Glee Club apart. Blah, 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 blah.
So what is Finn doing there still?
He was teaching the club when she was gone. And then when Shu came back, he co-taught. He was coaching. I don't know. He had nothing else to do. Like, he got kicked out of the army. Rachel didn't want to take him back.
Why did he get kicked out?
I think he shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot himself in the foot. Because he got scared. So like, I don't know. He's just pretty much doing nothing. So then after their little feud...
Are Finn and Rachel still together? No, right?
No. She dates a hooker.
Oh,
and then Finn beats up the hooker and then tells the hooker not to touch his future ex-wife because that's not creepy at all. And then, of course, Rachel thanks Finn for standing up for her. And I'm like, oh my god, Rachel's such a hot mess. But so while Finn is teaching New Directions, they have like sectionals or whatever, one of their competitions, and Finn's idea is to do, I'm pretty sure he called it Oriental. He said Oriental thing. So they did Gangnam Style and something else. And Tina got to sing lead on that because of course, and excuse me.
you.
Sorry.
Shit.
Sorry. Background events. Some of the new characters. The new Quinn. Her name's Kitty. She convinces the new Rachel that she's fat because she's sewing her clothes together tighter, her stage pieces, dresses, and so new Rachel ends up bulimic and she passes out on stage. I really thought she was gonna shit herself, like, because this other character found out, the new Finn found out, and he was like, I had a cousin who did that for wrestling and he shit himself. And so they're up on stage doing what Gangnam Style, and she's like up there like woozy and shit. And then I think like I really thought she was gonna shit herself. I'm like, if Glee does this, I would like this show. I would say I was a fan of this show. But of course, like she's up there just like passes out. It would have been so much better. It would have actually been continuity if she just shit herself. But she doesn't, of course. And this new girl, she's so boring. She's so dull. Her name's Marley Rose. And she's just like the most perfect girl who ever perfect. She's poor, but her mom is like the lunch lady, and she's morbidly obese. And her mom, like, fake sews in tags to her clothes so it looks like she's popular. And she's just annoying. She ends up dating the new Puck, who is kind of hot. He's hella hot, little cutie ass. But they're just boring.
So they're just like new versions of the old ones?
It's new versions of the old ones doing the same things the old ones did, while the old ones come back and do the old things they did. So everyone's doing the same thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So recent episodes, they had the school shooting. That was Becky.
Becky shot?
Well, she brought a gun to school, and then she got scared. Can you pass me that towel? Or something? Or a tissue.
You're gonna blow your nose on my towel?
I was going to, but then I realized it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
And so you may not have appreciated that. Yeah, so did you ever watch Degrassi?
I watched like maybe 10 episodes.
Did you watch their school shooting?
No.
Like, they had a school shooting, and it made sense because it was a kid who got bullied who was already unstable, and they bullied him into doing it. Glee did it. They also had a person who had special needs that wasn't getting proper education or proper supervision. She just brings a school. She brings a gun to school because she was scared. And she brings it, and she was talking to Sue, and she was like, Coach, I'm scared, and Sue's like, give me the gun. And then she, like, accidentally shoots it, and drops it in fear, and then when it hit the ground, it shot it, like, it fired again. So while this is going on, most of the kids are in the choir room, and they, like, freak out, and unnaturally, and they're, like, running around, like, hiding and stuff. And it turns out, like, Brittany was, like, hiding in the bathroom, and so it was actually, like, shot well. Like, she's, like, hiding on the stall, like, just, crying and shit. And Tina was outside. Everyone else was inside. Blaine tried to push the piano in front of the door, but he couldn't move it all the way. But he was the only person who, like, actually helped Artie out of his chair. And then Sam realized Brittany wasn't there, and Sam and Brittany are dating now. And so he tried to keep running out to go get Brittany. And, like, Shu and Beast, who was there as well, they're, like, restraining Sam. And then Artie gets the bright idea of, like, taking a camera and, like, recording it, like, just in case it's their last moments. And, like, Blaine was the only person, like, no, fuck you, dude. Like, get the camera out of my face. Like,
yeah.
Instead of, like, crying and shit, you know, I'd be like, anything you want to say? Like, no, fuck you. And everyone else is just like, Mom, like, the other characters, like, pretty much talked about, like, their future plot points. The new Rachel wants to be a songwriter. The new Finn was like, I don't remember. Like, I really don't remember. So the new Finn, he's dyslexic, and that's like his plot line. He's dyslexic, and then his other plot line is he tried to date new Rachel. New Rachel chose new Puck. So new Finn he started talking anonymously to this girl named Katie, and it turns out Katie doesn't exist. So he's being like, you know, catfish, like someone's pretending to be this girl to talk to him, and he's like sending her nudes and stuff. And so he thinks it's someone in the Glee Club. And he thinks it's either the new Quinn or the new Mercedes. And the new Mercedes is this is a male who's wanting to transition but hasn't started transitioning yet. So right now he's just doing a lot of cross-dressing. So those are like the two most obvious choices, because at one point the new Finn was like to the new Mercedes, like, are you a boy or a girl? Like, some days you dress like a boy, some days you dress like a girl. Like, what are you? And it was just like, being an asshole. And so they're thinking that new Mercedes started talking to him just to like get him to admit, like, people aren't what they appear. But then like actually told him, we don't know where the fuck that storyline's going. And then another douchey Glee moves. At one point, new Finn sang a song, and then he told the Glee Club about how he was molested by his female babysitter. And then Sam and Artie were like, dude, that's like super lucky, like that's super cool, it's like everybody's dream. He's like, no, like it actually like fucked me up for a while, like that's why I've had a problem talking to girls. And they're just like, dude, you're like super lucky. And like everyone's just sitting there, like everyone's in the choir room, and they let this conversation happen for like 5-6 lines back and forth before Shu, who's there, is like, enough, guys, stop, it's not cool. I'm like, dude. Like, from the first second someone said lucky, I'd have been like, no, outside, and until you can behave like a human being, you can come back inside. But I'm just like, what? And so then new Finn goes out to lunch at Breadsticks with new Quinn, and she's like, I got molested too. And I'm just like, the fuck is this show? Like, and so then she was telling him that they should probably date because she doesn't tell people that a lot, and they had a connection. But new Finn was like, I would rather talk to my cyber girlfriend than like go off with you, even though he knows his cyber girlfriend isn't who she says he is. So that's going on. I already told you. So Blaine joins the Cheerios because he's going to take down the Cheerios from the inside.
Wait, why? Wait, whose plan was that?
It was his plan. It was him and Sam. Like, he and Sam like team up, and they like have a little thing where they like go off doing like subplots and stuff. Like, so when the new Rachel fainted at competition, they came in third place. The Warblers came in first. Some other team obviously came in second. So what they did, what New Directions did, they all just like did other clubs and shit because they couldn't compete. Like, there's no fucking point. Mm-hmm. So Sam and Blaine find out that the Warblers were using steroids because they couldn't win on their own. So they get the Warblers disqualified, which somehow not only disqualified the Warblers, but invalidated the second place winners, so then they got their spot to go to the next round of competitions.
Wait, isn't it like first and second place get to go, or just first place?
It was just first place, but they came in third. They disqualified first place, but then they get to go. No mention of second place whatsoever. I mean, I guess they were doing steroids too. I don't know. So Blaine.
But why would
But that leads to Blaine and Sam teaming up, and then that leads to them wanting to take the Cheerios because whatever, Sue needs to go down because Sue. But then Sue ends up quitting because she covers for Becky bringing the gun to school, and so she's gone. But Blaine stays on the Cheerios anyway, and I don't know. That's Blaine. And then you have in New York, Kurt ends up at the school. Santana moves up there with him.
At the school? Which school?
The Niata school.
Oh, gotcha.
And then her professor's like totally mean to her, and like she picks on her. She calls her Schwimmer.
Santana?
No, Rachel.
Oh.
The new teacher calls Rachel Schwimmer because she has a big nose like David Schwimmer from Friends.
Okay.
And Rachel's like, oh, you're totally picking on me. You're just like jealous of my talent. And she's like, no, you're actually just like insufferable and I hate you. And then she sleeps with Rachel's boyfriend. Snaps, bitch. And the Rachel ends up like, she didn't really do much this season. She has an audition to play some Barbra Streisand role. Santana, she ends up going to the school too because everyone does. And Kurt worked...
To Niata?
Yeah, to Niata.
Okay, so, like, why was it such a big deal? Like, Rachel and Kurt were literally, like, dying to get into the school, not just, like, everyone go.
Pretty much. Like, Santana's doing, like, she's auditing classes to get in. Kurt got in on some, like, part-time deal, and Rachel's a full student, even though she choked her audition. Like, it makes no fucking sense. And now Artie is going to New York, too, because he's going to film school, which is probably right next door to the Niata. Last week, I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, it turns out that Kurt's dad has cancer, and it turns out he was okay. He's in remission, but Kurt came back to Ohio to get the results with him and stuff. And so he and Blaine were like interacting again, and they were at the coffee place, and Blaine's like, "Hey, you look cute today," and I mean like dirty cute. And it's like, oh my god, Blaine is such a cockslut. You're like you were so thirsty. Like, calm down. Like, Kurt fucked that up real bad. Because I mean, like, dude is hella hot. Like,
didn't Blaine cheat on Kurt?
Yeah, because Kurt wasn't talking to him. Because Kurt went out to New York and was just and Blaine's pretty much like on the phone, like, yeah, I miss you fucking me, dude. And Kurt's like, I gotta go to work. I was like, dude, come on. Like, I'm not gonna say you deserve to be cheated on, but like, you neglected the fuck out of your boyfriend. Like, you ignored him pretty fucking bad. And obviously, Blaine is like the horniest little slut that ever did. that ever did bottom, so he needed it and he got it. But anyway, so he's like, he goes to Bert and he's like, I want to propose to Kurt. I want your permission. And Bert is like the only person in this damn show who always makes sense. He's like, no, like no, you don't have my permission. Like, don't you remember when Rachel and Finn tried this? Like, your kids, like, be kids. And then Blaine's like so sad, and he's like, if you think you guys are like meant to be, it'll work out. Like, if you really love them, like, it'll work out. Just wait. Like, you don't need to get married. And so now Kurt's got to stay at Ohio for them to do regionals, and they're probably going to get together next episode. And that's Glee.
Wait, but why is Kurt staying in Ohio to do regionals? Isn't he like out of school already?
He's out of school, but he's staying to help coach. Even though at the same time, Rachel is in New York taking her finals. Kurt is in Ohio not taking his finals, but they go to the same school. And what are some other stupid things about Glee? Oh, Finn is at college. He's getting his teaching degree, and then Puck just shows up to live with him.
I mean, Puck really does show up, though. Like, that's what he does.
Yeah, he just shows up.
He just shows up.
He was just like, hey, I'm just like living here at this school. Oh, there was one little plot point where old Puck was dating new Quinn. And because new Quinn was trying to hook up with new Puck, so old Puck intercepts and dates new Quinn. And old Quinn hooks up with Santana. They go up to, like, they all come back for Schuster and Emma's wedding, which he walks out of them on. But they're just like, well, we're all here. We all want to, like, party, so we're just going to, like, have the reception without you. And so Finn and Rachel hook up. Kurt and Blaine hook up. Artie hooks up with some random chick. And Santana and Quinn hook up.
What the hell?
Yeah. But out of all of them, Rachel slips out while Finn's sleeping. And then she goes back to New York, and she has a pregnancy scare. I hate Rachel so much. I wish it was true. Just to, like, ruin her life. Just to ruin her life some more. But, yeah. Quinn definitely did go for that.
Where was Brittany? Why did Brittany and Santana break up?
Because they went to college and the long distance thing wasn't working out.
Oh,
AKA Santana didn't really want to try.
Okay, well, let's Glee, I guess.
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, it's... God, Glee.